And now we'll be going on to the conclusion with Transformers Combiner Wars Bruticus. Now, I have to admit, for a mold that's basically a retool, or mostly a heavy retool, should I say, of Defensor, this is actually a pretty cool representation of the character utilizing the hotspot mold. And I think Hasbro did a really nice job, especially by the way that the hands form on this version of the toy rather than what they did for hotspot really does help with stability and various other things that just makes the figure look a lot better in the overall end. Articulation wise, you're pretty much going to get the same exact way as all the other Combiner Wars releases. They will have ratchets on the shoulders, which go 360. Also has outward shoulder movements due to the way that the connecting ports are designed. He does have forward movement in the hips, also an outer movement, but there isn't a whole lot you're going to get there just by the way that the pieces are designed. He does have a knee joint, as normal on both sides, and it can swivel as well using the ratchets. And his feet can pivot a bit due to the way that the combiner pieces are designed. And he does not have any waist articulation, but there isn't a whole lot you could do with there anyway, just by the way that the design of the Combiner Wars aspect, it will get in the way if they kind of put an articulation there. His head also swivels. You can also look up and down just a tad bit, and it'll be nice to get it in frame. And that's pretty much it for articulation-wise. It's still pretty good range of movement, and I think they did a fantastic job designing Bruticus in the overall design. Now, while Brawl isn't definitely the best, even though it's the new mold, which is a shame, since all the other toys in the wave do have retools of other existing figures, it is a bit of a nuisance that unfortunately Hasbro and Takara designed Brawl in the way it is. The waist joint design is very unfortunate, but it works better as a limb than it ever really did as an individual robot, so I do kind of give it credit there that it does work pretty nicely. Also, as you can see on his arm, I did attach Shockwave, which works really nice with the set, and I think it really complements the whole design of Bruticus in its entirety. Now, this is going to be pretty interesting. I'll be back to show a comparison with all the releases of the Combiner Wars so far, except for maybe the Constructicon, since it probably won't pick up on camera, but we'll see. I'll be back. And now we have all the standard Combiner Wars releases that will be released at retail as of this very moment. The other combiners, which include Victorion and, from what we could see, Computron, along with the supposed rumored Leo Kaiser, will all be most likely released in box sets. Victorion is 100% confirmed a box set, and with the rumors floating around, so is Computron. So, with these four combiners, this pretty much is the entire line of combiners that will be released in single cards and single Voyager releases in the Combiner Wars toy line. So, while some of the combiners have definitely not been the strongest, such as Menasor and Defensor, the other two, which are Superion and Bruticus, to me personally ended up becoming a lot better figures, and I think they did a very nice job designing them compared to the other two releases, which is kind of ironic since Bruticus is a retool mostly of Hotspot, like the main body anyways. So, I think this is a pretty cool set, and while, yeah, Blastoff is weird to be a jet instead of a helicopter, sorry, not a helicopter, instead of a space shuttle, it still ended up pretty nice in the collection here, and just putting all these combiners together just looks really nice on the shelf. So I highly recommend picking up Bruticus along with the pieces. If not, then just go ahead and get the Takara one, which should be releasing maybe around or after sometime I put up this video, since I don't know exactly when that Bruticus is going to come out, since we, at least as of this recording, haven't got any preliminary release details on that set in the Unite Warriors toy line. So, I really think Bruticus ended up pretty nicely, and might end up becoming my second most favorite combiner in the standard releases thus far. Anyways, please comment, subscribe, and please check out this video on Hirotaku. Also, please check out the other channels down below, including the WW Podcast and more. Please check me out on Twitter under Jarcon633, and we'll continue with another set of Combiner Wars once the new releases come out, and leading all the way up into Titan Wars. Anyways, I'll be seeing you on YouTube. Bye.